Hey, welcome back to the movie recap, and today I am going to explain a teenage and romance film titled The American Pie. The film starts in the year 1999, centers around a gathering of four dear companions in their senior year at the imaginary East Great Falls High School in West Michigan. Kevin Myers, Chris, Oz, Ostreicher, Jim Levenstein and Paul Finch, who is better known by his last name. Kevin is sure and enchanting and is dating his drawn-out sweetheart, Vicky Latham. Oz is an easygoing individual from the secondary school lacrosse crew. Jim is socially off-kilter and physically guileless and experiences pressure and problematic guidance his dad, while Finch is a cappuccino-drinking sophisticate who plays golf and wears sports coats. The four have very varying characters, however share a typical trademark. They are virgins, in sharp difference to well-known lacrosse player and pompous musclehead Steve Stifler. Sean William Scott, whose wild, excessive local gatherings they are consistently welcome to. While at one of Stifler's such gatherings, the four each endeavor to score with different young ladies at the party with exceptionally restricted achievement. Oz is embarrassed by a more seasoned young lady. Finch is past the point of no return for the party and Jim endeavors to converse with Czechoslovakian international student Nadia, however bombs totally. Kevin gets fellatio from Vicky, yet she hears him whining about it to Jim and speedily dumps him. The following morning, the four wake up hungover and discouraged, to find ultra-geek Chuck Sherman seeing off a beautiful young lady, and are left stunned and baffled when the Shermanator claims that he lost his virginity to her that very night. Kevin chooses to stand firm and disobediently pronounces that the four will make a settlement, to lose their virginity before the school prom and graduation. Afterward, while having breakfast in a cafe, they toast each other to the following stage, and figure out how to make sexual progress. Kevin quickly embarks to win Vicky back, yet needs to strive to try and get an opportunity with her, and starts to look for counsel from others. Vicky's closest companion Jessica uncovers to Kevin that, regardless of his reasoning in any case, Vicky has never felt a climax from Kevin, and that he needs to chip away at that above all the other things. His more established sibling Tom then, at that point, goes to Kevin the mystery of the Bible, a manual of affection and sex gathered by different East Great Falls understudies north of a very long while. Both Jessica and Tom uncover their recommendations solely after Kevin stresses he needs to make Vicky blissful, instead of basically exploiting her for his agreement. Kevin at long last jumps all over an opportunity to make things up with Vicky, and performs oral sex on her in her room utilizing his new strategies. Vicky encounters an extreme climax and is driven wild by Kevin, winning him the commitment of sex at the prom get-together all the while. In the meantime, Oz joins the school's jazz ensemble with an end goal to lose his generalized standing as a muscle-headed lacrosse musclehead and track down a caring sweetheart there. He is ridiculed steadily at first by his companions and the other ensemble individuals, however before long wins the consideration of Heather, one of the ensemble vocalists who likewise endures being generalized as a priss. She quickly asks him out to the prom with her, however alters her perspective after seeing Stifler and his companions taunting her, and accepting Oz was doing likewise. A frantic Oz volunteers to become lead entertainer close by Heather to attempt to recover her trust. He succeeds when she gets him eagerly practicing alone in the theater, and visits him late night at the sandwich bar he works at to accommodate. Their relationship is managed another blow when Oz understands his last ever lacrosse matchup for East Great Falls conflicts with the ensemble contest. However, a baffled Oz chooses to leave the game part of the way through and surges over to the music corridor, where he makes it in the nick of time. He plays out the hotly anticipated two-part harmony with Heather to joyful commendation from the crowd, including Kevin and Jim themselves. In the next scene we see, after Oz depicts third base to Jim as like warm fruity dessert, an inquisitive Jim briefly loses his mental soundness and has full evangelist sex with a newly heated fruity dessert overlooked by his mom. His dad strolls in on the demonstration and is left shocked and disheartened by his child's activities. Presently nearly without trust, Jim has a fortunate turn of events when Nadia, apparently at a regular, inquires as to whether she can come round to his home and study with him. Subsequent to dropping the essential detail that she'll be coming directly from expressive dance practice and should change, Stifler convinces Jim to set up a webcam in his room so they can all watch Nadia stripping together over the web. Upon Nadia's appearance, Jim sets up the webcam and runs across the road to join Kevin and Finch at Kevin's home. Against assumption, a nearly exposed Nadia finds Jim's sexual entertainment assortment and starts to enthusiastically jerk off on his bed, causing a wild response from Stifler, Kevin and Finch on the opposite end, as well as Stifler's young sibling Matt. Kevin and Finch force Jim to return and allure her while the second endures, which closes with Nadia compelling Jim to strip and move for her while she peruses his erotic entertainment. At this point, different gatherings of East Great Falls seniors, including individuals from Blink-182, are watching the surprisingly realistic and energized expectation, as Sherman uncovers that Jim coincidentally addressed the webcam connect to everyone in the whole school catalog. Nadia then, at that point, tempts Jim and puts him down close to her on the bed, yet he rashly discharges, tragically, frustrating Nadia and totally nauseating his live web crowd. A frantic Jim argues for Nadia not to go and wins her around. Yet when Nadia takes her underwear off, he automatically discharges again after contacting her clitoris. Nadia quickly leaves, leaving Jim a worrywart. The following day, Jim has turned into the fool of the whole secondary school and is left miserable and discouraged, particularly after hearing that Nadia has been promptly sent back home to Czechoslovakia by her patrons after the episode. Be that as it may, he detects karma when disliked band nerd Michelle Flaherty haphazardly starts to converse with him. After uncovering she doesn't know anything about the webcam episode, he jumps all over the chance to ask her out to the prom with him, which she joyously acknowledges. Finch at first seems to have no arrangement, yet Kevin's doubts emerge when supportive tales start zooming around the school that Finch has unbelievable sexual ability, has had relations with more seasoned ladies, and that he even took out Stifler in a battle. Kevin researches and finds that Finch paid Jessica $200 to spread the bits of gossip under the misrepresentation of truth. Finch rapidly turns into the most discussed and most spectacular senior in the entire school, with crowds of young ladies frantic to go to the prom with him. Nonetheless, Stifler, furious about the bits of gossip against him, spikes Finch's mochaccino with purgatives, and quickly tricks him into utilizing the young ladies' bathroom, where Finch experiences hazardous runs within the sight of a few senior young ladies. A short time later, he arises to a deluge of joke, giggling and maltreatment from a crazy horde of seniors, with Stifler in charge, and is left embarrassed, broken and totally dateless. The prom night at last comes around. Finch is the only one of the four who goes to alone, yet Jessica, likewise alone and feeling regretful for taking his cash, offers to hit the dance floor with him, in any event, giving him a spick and span hip carafe as a gift for his inconveniences. The actual prom is modest, tasteless and routine and scorned by the majority of the understudies, however a presumptuous, boasting Kevin considers it to be a great opportunity to inquiry his companions for a status check on their settlement. Oz and Finch are impartial, and a wore-out Jim sets free and sees at Kevin for causing all the tension, demanding that sex isn't by any stretch of the imagination as significant as they recently made out. The eruption breaks Kevin's grandiosity and makes him keep thinking about whether things will really go as arranged among him and Vicky. Notwithstanding, their spirits are by and large lifted, when Chuck Sherman's accomplice at the prom gets up onto the stage and reports before everyone that Chuck is a liar and is as yet a virgin. Thoreau wets himself in humiliation, and the four young men energetically get the transport to Stifler's immense post-prom party at his manor on Lake Michigan. As the party gets forward movement, the four young men all exclusively satisfy their settlement with basically no cognizant exertion. Kevin and Vicky go to a higher-up room where they at long last engage in sexual relations interestingly, yet their cravings for flawlessness and timing make the communication become unbending and abnormal all through. While strolling along the lakeside, a close-to-home Oz admits the agreement to Heather, who becomes watchful, yet he revokes the settlement and pronounces that he's as of now won by simply being with her at the prom. They enthusiastically embrace each other at the dockside, normally and smoothly moving into their most memorable sexual experience. In the interim, Jim is resting through Michelle's youthful band camp stories, yet stifles on his beverage when she uncovers she find out about climaxes than she's letting on. Michelle leads him higher up, where she uncovers she really knew from the start about the webcam episode, just tolerating Jim's date since he was a definitely. Jim at long last will have catastrophe-free sex, however Michelle is prevailing and brutally forceful, yelling maltreatment at Jim, messing him up and crushing things up with her hands and feet out of sheer enthusiasm. At last, an exhausted Finch meanders around confined region of the house and chances upon Stifler's mother, Jennifer Coolidge, whose quality and regular excellence shocks him. After some modern, high society discussion and being a tease, she becomes excited by Finch's intelligence, and they continue to have intercourse on the snooker table. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content like this and leave a like to help the channel out. Thanks for watching.